and I am a new teacher on the Outschool platform. I wanted to make this video to share with you my top 5 tips and tricks that I learned during my first week of teaching with Outschool. A little bit of background about me. I have my bachelor's and master's degree in art education, and I have been teaching in the public school system for 13 years. And so I just recently joined the world of online teaching, and I actually started off thinking that I was going to teach with VIP Kid. So I went through the whole hiring process with them, was hired in, and then as I was waiting for my background check, I decided to brush up on some of my VIP Kid knowledge, and then through that stumbled upon Outschool. And I'm telling you that Outschool just felt like a better fit for me personally. I kind of struggled with the idea of trying to teach English online. It just is not really my wheelhouse, I suppose. And I'm much more comfortable in the art room setting because that's where my experience lies. And so when I saw that on Outschool, I could not only teach art, which I love, but I could also decide how many students I put in my classes. I could decide how much money I was going to charge them, and I could decide what time of day I was going to teach. I can set my own hours. That was it. Okay, so without further ado, my top 5 things that I've learned during my first week of teaching on Outschool. So number 5, when trying to get a class listed, you need to be specific. So if you are typing up just like a general vague description of a class, they're probably not going to accept that because parents, and I'm a parent who has signed my children up for Outschool classes, and as a parent, I want to see what are they going to be doing in that class? What am I spending my money on? So you need to be specific. You should have a title that, catches people's attention. And then your description should explain exactly what is going to happen in class, exactly what supplies are going to be needed. Especially for me as an art teacher, I need to tell families ahead of time if they're going to need things like a canvas or paint or things that they may not have at home. So make sure that you are very specific so that parents and students know exactly what to expect when they sign up for your class. And the best thing about that is you can be totally creative and come up with so many different ideas. And it's just so fun. For me, I love that part of it. Number 4, not everybody does this, but I have found that adding videos, a video description to my lessons, I don't know for sure, but I really feel like that has kind of helped me get bookings for my classes. I think through the videos, parents can kind of get a sense of what your personality is like. They can take a look at the actual project in my case, the actual project that the kids are going to do. And it just kind of is that added little extra special thing that might help somebody decide whether or not they're going to take your class. Number 3. And this is a big one. This is to help build rapport with your students. Before each class, I go into my classroom and I write down a list so I know exactly who's supposed to be in my class. And then I make little notes about who that student is. This also helps later on in class if I'm doing a critique or I'm asking them to share what they have created. I can call them by name and I can see right there again on my class list who is supposed to be in class. A lot of times students will rename themselves on the screen in Zoom, and that's great, so you can look right there and see what their name is, but not everybody remembers to do that, and so it's always helpful to have that little list just kind of posted on the side of your computer. Number 2, schedule your classes, in the beginning at least, with a variety of different times. So mine are all over the place, and that's because I'm trying to see what works for me, what times get the most bookings for my art classes. So again, art may be a little bit different from some of the more academic classes. Maybe my art classes are better off being offered, during after school hours or on the weekends. So I have some right now that are scheduled mid-morning, I have some in the afternoons, and I have some in the evenings and on the weekends. And I'm doing that for now just to see what works for me. Once I kind of get a better feel for which classes are going to book, I'm going to try to come up with a more consistent schedule just to save my own sanity. So that is my number 2 piece of advice. And then number 1 And I use this in my brick and mortar classroom all the time, as well as online. Fake it till you make it. And that does not mean your knowledge of your content. You should be very knowledgeable about your content. What that means is you're probably gonna be nervous for your first couple of classes. But the kids don't need to know that. It is a little bit of an adjustment getting used to the whole online thing and looking at your students through a screen. But if you fake it and just pretend like you know exactly what you're doing, even if you feel like you don't, they're gonna have a blast and they're gonna have so much fun in your class, and they don't need to know that you are nervous or scared. So fake it till you make it. Have a great time. I know for me, I was actually pleasantly surprised at the amount of engagement I've been able to get from my online classes. I feel like the kids that sign up for those classes really want to be there, and so they're excited to learn. They're listening to my directions, and they're more than happy to share what they've created. And so I'm getting a lot of engagement, and we're just having so much fun in my classes. So far I am loving the Outschool platform. I plan to make more videos going forward just about some of the new tips and tricks that I learn along the way. I'm going to be making another video about my setup and how I demonstrate and teach art through the online platform through Zoom, how I set my phone up as a document camera, so I will have a video posted about that. So if you found this useful, you can feel free to subscribe. If you are interested in learning more about Outschool, becoming a teacher potentially on the Outschool platform, I'm going to go ahead and drop my referral code down below. You can feel free to use that and then email me. My email is also in the description box below. You can email me with any questions, and I would love to mentor you through the process. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful, and I will see you later.